Hi everyone, this is Kat and welcome back to my channel. I am back for another junk journal with me. I still have photos left from the last time and I am so sorry about the glare. But yeah, here's a few pictures of my dog. And these two, they're like frenemies. But I'm not gonna do a very long intro. I just wanted to get these photos in my junk journal, but also I'm gonna try and use fabrics. I'll try to decorate this using scrap fabrics. I'm gonna be working on this page since I have my, I guess this is one way to use fabric in your junk journal. You can use it as a pocket. I embroidered this myself. I found the image online and then I did type this and trace it on here, and it says be fiercely you. Yeah, so this is one way to use fabric in your junk journal, and I'm just gonna continue doing that for the rest of the spread. I'll keep using fabrics in my junk journal. But yeah, let's get started. all done. This is the last blank page on my first signature, unless you consider this a blank page, but I think I'm okay. I'm done with this whole first signature. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one, but I'm not doing this on a chronological order. It's just that my brain trying to organize things, and I really just, my brain is telling me to be done with the first signature, and so that's what I did. Yeah, so on this video I wanted to show how I use fabric on my junk journal. I do have a lot of scraps. I've been very good using my scrap paper, but now I need to start using my fabric scraps. First one, you can of course use it as a pocket. I embroidered this when I made this junk journal, and this would be one of the embroidered piece that I made for this junk journal. So in here is a journaling card, and I guess this is a mini waterfall. I stuck them on here with a washi tape. Here's another way I use fabric on my junk journal. I use it as a tab, and then on the back of it is the same fabric as this one, but yeah, I use it as to cover a tab. Pretty much you can do this with your scrap paper as well, but of course you can also use your fabric. You can also cut out shapes using your fabric scraps, and I just cut out little stars on here. And then on here, I stamp on pieces of fabric and I spelled frenemies. And you can just make your own alpha stickers. Yeah, so frenemies, these two are frenemies. They love each other, but they also bicker at each other a lot. I mean, they're two senior dogs. Yeah, so that's another way I've used, or that's 3 more ways that I've used fabric in my journal. And also I purposely made a tab on here. Like, I saw an opportunity to add a tab that's gonna be sticking up on top, so I'll have like things that are sticking up right here. So I have this little this and then this, and I should add more, but getting there. And then this is a Martha's photo, and it fits perfectly on this one. I didn't measure, but yeah, it worked out. Yeah, it worked out for this one, so it's a perfect fit on here. And here's another way to use a fabric. I use a tab. This one is from a sample book that I found from a thrift store. And then on here, the next page, yeah, so you can use it as a tab. On the back, I just use this paper, and then of course I'm gonna journal on here. And then on here is another picture of Martha. And then here's another way I use fabric scraps. I use it as a washi tape. This one is definitely, I use a double-sided tape to glue this on, but yeah, you can use your scrap fabric as a washi tape. And then in here I made a little pocket, and so behind this one I just have a cut apart that I stuck on here. And then this one might look weird to you, but when I put this on here, I didn't want to cover this part right here, like the numbers of the ledger paper. I didn't want to cover it, so yeah. And then I can also journal on this part as well. So the way I attach this is, it's kind of just like a book, so I can use it to insert here, but then this part, the top part, would be just outside. And then I also really like the idea that, okay, this page, it works, right? But then if I flip this one kind of works as well. This all the spread. So yeah, that's why I did that. And then this color is right here already. Also consider the color you're gonna pull from one side to the other, so they kind of complement. But yeah, and then on here, okay, so I decided to be fancy and use a scallop edge, the tiny one. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I use a scallop edge scissors to cut the edge of the backing. but then when I put it on here, I didn't like just the white showing through on here. So I had an aha moment, and then that you can also use fabric as a border, and that's what I did here. I used it as a border or frames, and yeah, and it kind of worked out. I'm not seeing just white on here. I have a little bit of color on the back of it as well, and then it just slides on here, and then I would stop right here because I didn't want to cover the stitching part, but I know it can kind of go further down, but yeah, I don't want to cover the stitches, so I put it kind of right there. Yeah, so that's my spread on that, and then on the back side, this would be the last one. I used it as I made an envelope out of it. I wanted to make some envelopes, but I don't have a die cut for it. So yeah, I just cut this. I made a pattern. Okay, so I made not a pattern, a template of a, yeah, so I made a template for envelopes. You can definitely find lots of free templates for envelope, but this one I used a really sturdy card. Where did I get this card from? From a packaging. Yeah, I got this from packaging, and I just glued the pattern on there to make the template. And I know I'm going to be using this for a long time. And I also made a different size, just a tad smaller than the other one, but for this one I use this, and it's perfect for my dog's photo. Okay, so yeah, one way to use fabric is you can make an envelope out of it. I just glued it on a craft paper. It would hold its shape. And then when I first did this, I did my pattern on the fabric, but I realized it's going to be hard to align things, so it's better I cut it on the backing first. I use make my backing first and then glue it on the fabric, and then you cut. That makes sense. Yeah, so yeah, I glued the backing first because this one would give it some shape. It's not so flimsy fabric. And then I just glued it onto the fabric, and so I don't have, because it's gonna be hard to line up if both of them are already cut out. So I did the pattern, the backing first, or yeah, this one, the inside, and then I glued it on the fabric and then cut again. I don't know if that makes sense. And then of course you can also use it fabric as a ruffle. I'm still trying to use up all my ruffles, and then I thought it worked out. On here there's kind of blue on here, but I wasn't trying to match all that. I was just trying to pull like this dark blue and then this blue onto here, but I think this blue is too dark, but that is okay. It's just one of those it's one of those ruffles I made before when I had the ruffle tutorial, and I'm still using them. Oh yeah, and here's another way to use fabric. You can use it for your tags. It just goes in here, and then I made this as a tuck, so it's not glued on here, so I can add another journaling card on here, and then more fabric cutouts here, and a scrapbook embellishment of a dog that kind of looks like my dog, but not really. Yeah, and I added this paper so I can journal on the back of it. I wasn't sure if I would go with this as a facing up or this one facing up. Either or, I think it works out. Okay, so and then for here, this is my, and again, I'm sorry about the glare. As usual, I would do my journaling off cam, but I may or may not add more stickers. But yeah, that is it. I'm all done. I'll be back next time But for now, it's bye. Okay, no, wait, I forgot. Probably when I release this video, I'm gonna change my name, which I've talked about in the past. I have been talking about changing my name that has something to do with paper or journaling, which kind of makes more sense to do that. So I'm changing my name to Paper Catastrophes. The word cat is in catastrophe, and so I guess it's just fitting. Okay, this is for real. I thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.